This presentation is going to be about my personal tribe, and my personal tribe is called Iskali. Before I begin, I just want to say that I'm very aware of the fact that there are, 4,200 religions across the world, more even, but by no means am I trying to influence anyone with this. This is just my point of view. I come from a Catholic family. I grew up in a Catholic household, and 2 years ago, almost 2.5, almost 3 years ago, I had a friend of mine who invited me to this retreat because her mother was forcing her and she didn't want to go alone. And I had nothing to do, and I thought, why not? And it actually it was like the most life-changing weekend I've ever had in my life. And the organization that was hosting this was Iskali. So, what is Iskali? Uh, Technically, we're known as a community of young Hispanic Catholics that work together. And what we do is dedicate ourselves to evangelize and help others, specifically the youth, establish their faith. We are a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to create a new generation of young leaders promoting youth leadership in the Catholic Church. So, why Iskali? As you can see here, our logo is a cross with all these roots. Iskali is not in English or Spanish. It's actually a word that comes from the Nahuatl tribe, which is historically known as an Aztec tribe, with um, with Nahuatl people living in central Mexico today still. And the word actually means growth. In 2010, there was a small youth group in a small church in Melrose Park, and three friends decided that they were going to start this organization, and their goal was to make it spread to two other churches in Melrose and Stone Park. But today, Iskali actually has spread to 13 parishes, and it does not sound like a lot, but we have approximately 400 members, and that is just super amazing. As for architecture, we don't have, homes to describe um, like other tribes that we've learned about in class, but technically our churches can be known as our homes. Um, the churches here are actually all of these are have Iskali in them, all these churches. So as you can see, a lot of them are bigger, a lot of them are smaller, and some are a lot older than others, some are newer. But they all serve the same purpose, I would say. And we do our work here and we plan our outside work here as well. So this can technically be known as our sacred landscape. We do not have social classes, but we do have levels in Iskali. You join and you're a member of a youth group, which is why you're a youth. Depending on how long you're there and how much dedication you show, you can become a leader. And the leaders provide like learning for the youth, and they provide everything that we do in youth groups meetings for the youth. There are there can be up to 10 leaders in a parish, depending on how many people are in the youth group. So there are 1 to 2 coordinators in every parish, and the coordinators lead the leaders, and the leaders lead the youth. We have assessors who are basically the director. Their job is to help the coordinators who help the leaders who lead the youth. And the director is the head of Iskali. He is our leader. And this is him. His name is Vicente. And he is one of the most amazing, amazing people that I've ever met in my life. Attire. We have these shirts. We actually got the idea of starting to hand out shirts a year ago. So last year, we decided that at the end of the retreats, we were going to hand out these shirts. These were the first shirts that we came up with. And this year, they were these. This shirt's actually mine. I just personalized it and designed it myself, so there's only one. But the reason that we made these shirts was not to sell them, was not to make money, but to make a statement when we do something as a group, when we do something as Iskali as a whole. We just stand out so much, and it's so amazing when people ask us, what is Iskali and what does it mean? Because we take so much pride in explaining what it is that we do and who it is that we are. These polos with our names on it are actually for coordinators and assessors, and that's how you can distinguish the higher leaders. As for jewelry, at the end of every retreat, all the people that assisted get one of these little necklaces in order to kind of establish that you're officially a member of something, and that something being Iskali. You can actually see here, these are actually some more sweaters that we have. All of the leaders, coordinators, assessors, and the director have one of these. What could be considered a tradition is to host retreats, and it's what's looked most forward to in the year, but it's also one of the biggest challenges for us, which is why we only have them 3 times a year, because they are so emotionally and even even financially draining. But it's because of all the work that's put into it. And other rituals of ours could include the outside work that we do for the people, and we do it whether they're religious or not. We aren't close-minded at all. We mainly want to just give a message of loving and of service. An example would be this. In August, we went to Michigan. We went to these like picking lanes where people would work, and you could see them here. These were all just a bunch of lanes where blueberries were grown, and immigrants actually lived like hidden in these like woods technically. And what we did was go and read the gospel to them, read the Bible to them. They can't go to mass because they're scared to leave their homes. Tiny, tiny homes with up to 7, 8 people in them. It was something so moving for all of us, and it meant so much for us to be there. I actually got to spend time with their children. I didn't get to go pick with them, but I got to be in charge of their kids, and it was something so amazing. Later we go and we give testimony of the things that we do to people who don't even know that this is happening, people that aren't aware of the struggles that people are facing. But that's just one of the things that proves how much Iskali opens doors to seeing things from other perspectives. So, what makes Iskali my tribe? Iskali is rooted in the spirituality of the Second Vatican Council. It collaborates with the youth ministry, and it's supported 100% by the Archdiocese of Chicago. And being so significant, I think that's what pushes me in my spiritual path. And it also pushes me to just exceed, not only in that, but in everything that I do. It's given me a simple life, like I mentioned before, and more than anything, it's taught me to be more humble and live a life of service. Iskali is the missing piece to my puzzle, and I could honestly go on and on about all the experiences that I've lived thanks to it. And it's something I will never change, and it's something that I know that I want to do for the rest of my life.